All right, we are here. We Trade HQ fam, we are back after some crazy battery day,
Whew.
some bloodbath of a market reaction,
So bad. Yeah.
but we move on. We power forward, right,
Yep.
Brad?
Yes, sir.
So I got Brad here. We're going to talk about the top 3 stocks we're watching here. We do this every week on Wednesday. Look at 3 stocks that Brad's watching on his watch list. So without further ado, let's get right in. What is number 3?
Number 3 is going to be Square. And right now, I've already made a bunch of money on this because I bought into it around 140 and have now taken a bunch of profit after it went up to $156 a share. But this thing is undervalued. And I've talked about a lot of this within folks in my community, and tell them, look, a lot of these coronavirus plays that are related to remote work are being sold off because there's been a lot of positive news as far as the virus is concerned. And, with all of that going on, people think that all of a sudden we're just going to go back to life as usual. And that's not the case. We're going to be here now forever. Moving forward, remote work is here to stay. The frictionless transactions are here to stay, and that's where Square comes in. We talk about PayPal a lot, and Square is right in that category. They're both really great companies. You can make arguments for both of them as to which one's better, but I like Square here just because it's sold off so much. It's now below $150 a share as we're recording this, so I like Square a lot. I really think that it's going to move. Once people start to kind of get their act together. September's been a terrible month, and I think October is just going to be good for a lot of these stocks that have been beaten down over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I'm a fan of PayPal. I have PayPal in my long term. So I think we feel the same way about both of them.
Yeah.
What do we got for number 2?
Number 2 is going to be McCormick. And I know this sounds weird, but this kind of goes along with the theme of the Rona. There's more people staying at home, meaning that there's more people that are cooking at home. And McCormick had an excellent last earnings report. And, it's only going to continue to be a monster, I think, when we revisit this quarter. They have earnings next week, so I'm super pumped about that. Going to be looking to start working my way into this leading up to earnings next week. And so McCormick, I think, is very much on my radar. I mean, I know it sounds weird. We call this month so far Unsexy September. This is going to be another one that's unsexy, but I think that we see a move up over $200 a share on McCormick going into earnings. And, it's coming off of its 211 highs back in the beginning of the month. I think we see that revisit maybe close to those numbers after this earnings report comes out next week.
All right. So before we get into the number 1 stock, which is what everybody's asking about, I want to tell people about your watch list. So you're a mentor at WeTradeHQ. So you can go to WeTradeHQ.com, see Brad's mentorship. You also have your own channel, which is the Chaos Crew, where you give a daily watch list of the 5 stocks you're watching every day.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's a channel membership. So basically, you just come over, you just subscribe. You can join the Chaos Crew. It's just a part of being a part of the channel itself. And every day we put out a watch list of things to look for. What's moving in the market that day. So you get it at about an hour before the market opens up. Just gives you plenty of time to check things out. And then also we do secret live streams. One's kind of like this one, and but we just keep it private to the Chaos Crew folks. And then also getting access to my public portfolio that I have with Webull as well comes with the Chaos Crew membership.
Awesome. And I'll put the link to your channel above. So let's get into it. Number 1 stock that you were watching.
Probably comes as no surprise, but it's got to be Tesla. I mean, it's been beaten down from 450 just a couple of days ago and now sitting at 380, got as low as around 368 today. And it's just terrible. I mean, we talked about at the beginning of this recording that, that battery day was a little bit lackluster, to say the least. And so it's been beaten down, but there were some really good things that came out of the presentation that maybe people just weren't really realizing. I mean, it's tough when you have an engineer come out and present to the world what they're doing, and they speak in an engineer's language, and everybody else is just, it's way over their head. But there's some really good things there. You know, they're planning on cutting costs to batteries about 56%. They want to, they're looking to by 2022 to 2024 come out with a $25,000 electric vehicle. So that is huge for the company, and I think that would be really good. And one thing that we just saw today that came out not that long ago was that the state of California is banning sales of any brand new gasoline powered vehicles by 2035. And that's going to be a really big deal and a really good, really strong step forward for any EV company, and Tesla especially.
Yeah, that is huge. And that whole presentation was a disaster. Um,
It was.
but with that said, I think that the terawatt factory is huge. I mean, you're talking about 1,000 gigawatts, right?
Yeah.
So what they're doing essentially is saying we're creating the infrastructure to be able to produce, to
Right.
manufacture.
Right.
And so what we need now is we need numbers to attach to that capacity. And so hopefully moving forward, we start hearing about numbers and these analysts that number crunch can tell us, like, what does that mean? I know that I guess Elon mentioned 30 to 40% increase in production,
Yep.
or projections for next year. We had 50, that was from 50% increase this year.
Yeah.
So that's good, right? Like, you
It's
take
really good. Yeah.
80% over 2 years, that's huge. And I hope that this allows it to become multiples when you talk about growth. So from a long-term perspective, definitely great. We just need somebody to unpackage this for the people, the retail investors, to tell us, like, okay, this is what this means for us. So
Yeah.
appreciate your time, brother. If you guys haven't seen us before, like and subscribe. Brad's here every Wednesday where he goes over his top 3 stocks, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.